My name is TJ Scott. This is my Chapter 3, Managing Human Resources video summary. After reading the email, really going to try to change these things up. After understanding that everybody was summarizing, kind of realized, of course, I was summarizing as well. Um, Obviously, I want to change that up. More of a discussion about the chapter rather than just reading the definitions or the slides. Um, so, this chapter was really about basically bringing the legal environment when it came into human resources management, protecting your company from liability, discrimination, harassment, and then understanding what you can do as a company when it comes to these things, whether that be resolutions or things to avoid possible problems or avoid possible liability. A big part of the homework was discrimination and sexual harassment, which is very prevalent in today's society, in the workplace. These things are constantly coming out on the news. There's constant issues, whether or not these issues may be real or a ploy to get money, I'm not sure. Obviously, some are different from others. They are real situations and real cases where we have some sick corporate people at the top of their game and taking advantage of pretty much everything and everyone, which is obviously a disgusting fact of life when it comes to the business world. And then people are coming clean about these things years after, so you kind of find out how people got the positions that they did. And unfortunately, um, well, I guess fortunately, we see punishment for these people. Um, so one of the big issues with the chapter, issues shouldn't say issues, one of the big topics with the chapter was fair employment, whether that be pregnant women was analyzed, race, gender, sexual orientation, any of these things. Um, Obviously, human resources is going to deal with this hand in hand. And then obviously, uh, despite what discrimination some people may feel, unfortunately, there are people out there like that still, whether it be gender, race, sexual orientation, whatever it may be. People are um, rude, unfriendly, treat people unfairly when it comes to those people. In reality, you cannot do that. And as a human resources manager, or anybody involved with human resources, you need to understand the impact of those actions and understand the impact of maybe discriminating against future employee now, or past employee. They also discuss the strategies for fair employment, which are pretty self-explanatory. Treat everybody fairly. Treat everybody the way you would want to be treated. And as bad as this may sound, it's also protecting you from liability issues, future court cases, future issues that may arise from past employment. Goes into a little bit of the equal opportunity laws, basically the laws that have been passed um, in the past. Um, a lot of these dealing with discrimination, employee rights, Civil Rights Act of 1964 was a big deal. That was a big deal with immigration as well, not just influencing um, basically equal opportunity, equal employment, but also with immigration laws and bringing in new people and allowing them to work in the United States. Goes into a little bit of the types of discrimination. Like I said, this was a lot of the legal process when it comes to human resources and being able to protect yourself when it comes to employees, because these people are under you. They work for you, or they work for a higher power at some point, and they also need to be protected. But then with that protection, you're kind of leaving it up to your employees with a little more power to treat others with respect, to treat others fairly. And human resources has to have the ability to protect those employees. Um, One of the big pieces of the homework was sexual harassment, basically discussing not necessarily how to handle it, but at what point is there a line and who crosses it and when they cross it, and whether or not these were real issues within the workplace or they're just built up. It's a very real issue, in my opinion, a very real issue that needs to be taken care of. Unfortunately, there are bad people out there. Um, yeah, this was just a lot on the legal system of the workplace. A lot of it's common sense stuff. Human resources, you should understand the value of treating people fairly. hiring people fairly. But when it comes down to the hiring process, this is a big part of human resources and also a big part of the legal action that you may have to take or somebody may take upon you. There's a lot of people that may say, I didn't get hired because of this, I didn't get hired because of this. Whatever it may be, that's a real issue. People are being held out and not given jobs because of these issues, because of discrimination. As human resources management, you need to be able to protect your company and treat people fairly. Um, Everybody has an equal opportunity to employment, and everybody has equal opportunity in the workplace, and that's how it should be. Thank you.